Alright, this time's a little different. As always, it's a little different. It's called Strange Theories. Strange Theories.
For the uninitiated and the folk at home, let's give them a taste of what this show's going to be about. We have a fan theory from a Harry Potter who I believe she's from London. I believe London, the home of Harry Potter. Yes, and she says that Dumbledore, Professor Albus Percival Wulfric Brian Dumbledore, is death incarnate. The Grim Reaper himself. Yes, Harry JXMAES Potter says that this all spawns from the tale in the final book called The Deathly Hallows of the Harry Potter series, wherein 3 brothers deal with death themselves. In the end, all end up dead because of death. And this theory that she puts forth is that the great headmaster himself, Albus, is death. He is the Grim Reaper. He has orchestrated everything to kill people, to bring about the death of Harry, Snape, and Tom Riddle, just for his own fun. And I don't know if that's hogwash. I don't know if that's true. Here to defend himself in spirit, of course, against 3 other great theories. Tiny Albus Dumbledore.
Oh man, that's the cutest old man I've ever seen.
Right? Things getting serious.
So adorable.
Oh my god.
Smaller, the cuter.
I know you guys want it. Only one of you is going to be able to take that home tonight. Only one. And you know what's going to take?
Okay, so this isn't my theory. And it's not really a theory about the characters. It's a theory about how the book is written. So there's this guy, John Granger, who writes books on basically Harry Potter and analyzing it and stuff like that. And one of his theories is on literary alchemy, which is basically the act of alchemy in literature form, basically. So basically when you write a book, it has to have a beginning, middle, and ending and everything. But when you do it in alchemy form, you mimic how alchemy is done. And so an alchemist basically is a guy who does kind of chemistry to become it's kind of like potions. It's like a magic form of chemistry to become to live forever. And if you reach the nirvana state of alchemy as an alchemist, you can live forever, right? Because you are basically trying to achieve the philosopher's stone, which is part of alchemy, and that's the main kind of it's the objective of alchemy, to get the philosopher's stone. Anyway, to get the philosopher's stone in traditional alchemy, there's 3 stages. Mm-hmm. There's the Negrito, and then there's the Albedo, and then there's the Rubedo, and that's the black, white, and red stage. Basically, when you combine the black and white stages together, they mix and then form a union, and then it forms the final stage, which is the red stage. And this is just traditional alchemy, right? Well, in Harry Potter, Harry has black hair, Hermione has white hair, and Ron has red hair. And they're supposed to complement each other in that way. Hermione's initials Hg are the initials of Mercury. It's the actual element in alchemy that would be the white element added to the concoction, basically. So, anyway, these themes of alchemy continue all throughout the series until the last 3 books actually tell the story of the creation of the Philosopher's Stone. So the first book would be the Black Book, and that would be the Order of the Phoenix, because Sirius Black dies, and it's about the Black Stage being broken down. So Harry's getting broken down the entire time. Umbridge is there, and Dumbledore isn't even talking to him the entire time, and he gets broken down, until it all culminates into Sirius Black dying, and Harry learning a little bit about himself. Second stage would be the White Stage, and it's the next movie. Guess who dies? Dumbledore. Albus Dumbledore. His first name is Albus, Albedo, White Stage, Albus, White. Then the third then like the third stage is the red stage, and that happens during Deathly Hallows Part 1, when the black and white stage form a union, like a wedding, with Flora and Bill's wedding in the very beginning. And then, like, in the books at least, the wedding is clad in gold, like the whole wedding. They have just everything's in gold. And it, like, basically says that the black and white stage have, like, given way and, like, gold has formed. By basically saying that Harry is now the Philosopher's Stone. He's unstoppable at this point. Like, after those 2 deaths happen, he's now impenetrable. He's like an impenetrable force. And so, and also it also signifies that's kind of metaphorical, and it's shown in the movie as well, because Fred dies, which is red, and Scrimgeour,
the Rufus Scrimgeour?
Rufus, yeah.
The vampire?
His first name also means red-haired. So it's like all these elements of alchemy are used as literary devices in these books. And I don't think anybody talks about that, really.
No, I've never heard that. That is a strange theory, if I've ever heard one. A long one, too. Steve, you hopefully listened to everything that Anthony said, because you're going to have to come back with your strange theory in 1 second. Dave, we're going to shoot to you for your strange
I have
theory.
A strange theory.
You can actually, if you want to, quote his or comment on his real quick, and then
I
get
think
into
it's
yours.
very interesting,
Yeah.
actually. I didn't know any of that, so it's very intriguing.
Yeah, it's just thoughtful.
My theory could kind of be intertwined with his, actually.
Okay.
I think that...
You cannot share this pop Dumbledore, okay? You can't split
yeah, I know.
this.
That's all right.
Okay.
I think that Dumbledore was as good as he was portrayed to be. I think what you see is what you get. But I do think that he wanted to be killed when he was killed by the person who killed him. I think that he asked Snape to step in the way of Draco Malfoy and kill him off, so that Draco Malfoy wouldn't become evil and go to the dark side. Because had he killed Dumbledore, he would have.
That makes sense. There's a scene in the movie, what is it? The one where Dumbledore dies, Half-Blood Prince, where he's talking to Snape in the astronomy tower for like a second, and he's just like, and Snape says something like, "Has it ever crossed your like brilliant mind that you don't like? I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be a part of this like little thing we have going." And Dumbledore just says like, "It doesn't. That's irrelevant. I don't care."
Yeah.
So, and then he walks like down the stairs and sees Harry there, like, and Harry kind of overheard that little conversation. So
A little bit of
they
a
could have
hint.
been talking about that.
Yeah.
Like, Snape just like he's this double agent. And he doesn't want to kill Dumbledore. Like he doesn't want any part
I mean, they're
of it.
always kind of going back and forth. Is he a bad guy or is he a good
Right.
guy?
Yeah.
I think he was more like acting bad to hide his actual true intentions.
So that maybe the bad people would trust him.
Exactly, because all in all, he loved Harry because he loved his mother. So he actually thought of him as like a son that he didn't get to raise. But because his father was killed, he kind of took over and helped, keep him safe and raise him. Yes, he treated him badly, but to keep him distant from him so he wouldn't get more involved with what Snape was actually trying to do in the long run.
Snape was to me like one of the most interesting characters of that entire
He was, yeah.
series.
Okay, so
So you
Steve,
never really got to know him.
so what is your strange theory? Again, if you want to kind of comment on theirs.
The whole alchemy thing was pretty awesome to hear. I never even would have thought of something that in depth.
Yeah, it's just like
The more you,
was J.K. Rowling really thinking about that?
That's
what I was thinking.
the mind-boggling thing. Is like, did she really kind of put all that together in her head? Like, I wonder if anyone would get this.
Yeah, I
theory.
know, right? And also like the Philosopher's Stone in alchemy looks exactly like looks very similar to the Deathly Hallows symbol.
Oh, wow.
It's like a triangle with a square and a circle in it.
My strange theory is that Dumbledore is and was the most powerful wizard ever, and he foresaw things happening in the future between Voldemort and what would come to pass with Harry when he was born, and he knew there was nothing he could do about it. So what he did is he set things in motion to the point where eventually Harry would be the ultimate outcome between him and Voldemort. So even if he knew that he had to die for that to happen, that was the path that he set, because as powerful as he was, he let the chosen one keep it in his hands and allowed himself to die for that to happen.
So do you think he was so powerful that he could have just killed Voldemort and then just like Harry wouldn't have had to do anything?
I think at one point he was, but he never expected Voldemort to do what he did. Like the whole thing with the Horcruxes, was because he was able to split himself into different things to keep his power alive. I don't think Voldemort foresaw that part. That's why
Dumbledore?
That's why Dumbledore set everything else in motion, because after that point he knew there was nothing he could do on his own. So he would have to. That's where he created the whole plan to use one of Voldemort's own Horcruxes against him, which was Harry. That's why Harry had to die. Voldemort knew Harry was going to die, so he basically set everything in motion. I think
That's believable.
Dumbledore was the ultimate planner of everything once Voldemort came into power. I don't think he expected them to.
So you're saying the opposite of what I said. Dumbledore is not death. He is the hero. Like, he's actually like the one who, you know, made Harry into what he was, like, on purpose the whole time.
This is kind of going to be a little crazy here, but
Here it comes. That's what I'm waiting for.
It's kind of like the Jedis. When they die, they don't actually die. They become even more powerful in that afterlife form, which is what I think Dumbledore knew was going to happen. So he did that. He was still able to help Harry in the afterlife. Which
did happen because we went to the train station.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Harry had to be killed in order to kill the Horcrux.
All right, Steve's coming in. Well, you got to knock out one of you guys. Who is not strange enough right now?
You make the cut.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Want to make the cut? Dave, your cut.
I'm cutting.
Sorry.
I knew it.
Your theory is too plausible. It's kind of what happened. I feel
I think it is exactly what happened, actually.
I was like that.
I
What you
think
see
it's
is what
by the book what I said.
you said. We started with what you see is what you get.
Exactly.
So
That's how the story goes.
That's
That's the best I had.
So I'm thank you for your
Very straight to the point, man.
for your theory.
You are welcome.
Just not strange enough for
And
this.
I'm like, your theory is exactly right because I just saw the movie. And this exact scene that I'm quoting right now happened.
So thanks for the effort, but we're going to have to go to these two tyrants right now. These guys have some really strange theories. Yours is way stranger. Yours is more plausible. It's still strange. So, Dave, you're going to help me.
Okay.
We're gonna get to the bottom of this strange theory. We're going to award one of these guys. You're going to help me. So it's not just me anymore. We're going to give one of these guys as Dumbledore.
Okay.
What's you got any favorites here? Let's open our cards up. I got Steve. Yeah, I like Steve's.
I'm going with Anthony.
It's weird because like our theories are kind of different types of things. Like mine is commentary on how the book was written, not commentary on the characters in the book.
Right.
Like yours is about the content, mine's about like the literature of it.
Yeah, yours is more related to like outside influences of like how things like
Like black, white, and red, and Snape dying, Hermione's hair, and everything like that. Hair being broken down.
Although her hair's not white. Let's.
Well, it's got like blonde. Yeah, because like Harry's is black, Ron's
Black.
red,
Yeah.
and Hermione's is white. Like that was a very good point. I love that. I think that was smart. I'm gonna get a goat in there somewhere.
A little bit more.
Please do. We got 2 minutes to decide.
If I was in Dumbledore's shoes, film version, it's who's going to be my predecessor? Who's going to take over from me when I'm done? His first choice was the young Voldemort. He's like, this kid has talent. This kid's got power. Let me foresee the future with him. Out of nowhere, he's too dark. He goes too far past what Dumbledore wants him to do. He surpasses him with dark magic as opposed to light magic, which is what Dumbledore wants to keep in the system, in the world. Once he realizes that, he sets in motion a way to destroy Voldemort ultimately, which leads to Harry being the ultimate, most powerful wizard once Dumbledore passes on to the afterlife.
I'm not quite sure what you're trying to say besides just that Dumbledore was really powerful and he was like all-knowing. I mean, are you just saying that Dumbledore is the ultimate wizard of all time and everybody thinks that it's Harry, or like everybody thought it was Voldemort or something? Like what? Can you define your theory a little bit more so I can understand it a little bit better?
Yes, Dumbledore was the most powerful wizard, but he knew his time eventually would come to an end. So he wanted the person taking after him, the next most powerful wizard, to be someone that was good. So he originally thought that Voldemort would be that person, but he wasn't. He got too far into the darkness and he had to make a change, but it got to the point where Voldemort was almost too powerful for Dumbledore to stop. So that's when he set in motion things to prevent that from happening and chose Harry.
Anthony, you can cut him off anytime.
Okay, so it's just basically that like Dumbledore had a choice between Voldemort and Harry.
Well, it wasn't a choice at first because Harry wasn't around when Voldemort was young.
Yeah, exactly.
So he was training him basically to be the next top wizard, but Voldemort took that training into his own and decided to go dark instead and try to rule the world on his own. But then when Harry came along, Dumbledore realized that he could get back at Voldemort using Harry.
Okay, so I got 2 questions. I think I got an answer. I think I got it. Dave, any other follow-ups? Any kind of you still with Anthony on this one?
I think just for the sheer insight and information that he put on the table.
It's hard to
for us.
it's hard to look away from that.
That's pretty high level.
All right, Steve, I'm going to ask you one question, and if you answer it wrong, he is going to win. Can Dumbledore, in your theory, see the future?
Yes.
Anthony won. If he saw the future, he would have been able to know that Voldemort was going to create Horcruxes and stop him.
I realized that when
Yes. So he won. He won. Strange theories. His theories were the strangest.
Damn, that theory, man. That research. That was
that was nuts.
That's one of those like
in my brain.
That's one of those things that like those super nerdy people go in. They're like, all right, let's pick apart everything. Hermione's initials
I know,
are
it's
HG
crazy. It's
equals
crazy.
this.
I didn't actually come up with
element.
that. But,
I know.
like, yeah, but that's a crazy.
Isn't that crazy though?
Yo, man, there's a lot of brothers out there flaking and perpetrating, but scared to kick reality.
Man, you've been doing all this dope producing. You ain't had a chance to show them what time it is.
So what you want me to do?
I'm expressing with my full capabilities, and now I'm living in correctional facilities. Cause some don't agree with how I do this. I get straight and meditate like a Buddhist. I'm dropping flavor, my behavior is hereditary.